The U.S. banking system continues to be attacked, but what's this mean for our real estate? Hey everybody, Scott Walters, buckle up, strap in. I got a hard-hitting, pull no punches, no sugarcoating it, no rainbows, no sunshine. I'm just going to give it to you straight. We got a good one to unpackage today. Buckle up, strap in, hold on to your hats and glasses as we blow the lid off the U.S. economy and the U.S. housing market. Why, you ask? Because they're tied together. Lose one and you will lose the other. And my friends, they are both being threatened in spectacular fashion. This has been an insane journey that we've taken together, hasn't it? During the height of the buying euphoria, when everybody told you, the talking heads on TV, real estate agents cheerleading, everybody wanted to live in utopia. This time was different. The wealth effect, the money dump, it created complete and utter chaos in these markets. And like we've talked about since the beginning of the show, and if you're new, please subscribe right away. Never been a more important time in history to get centered and surrounded with like-minded people. Iron will sharpen iron. We got to stay centered and surrounded right about now because the cat's out of the bag. We've talked about this. Recession is being ushered in, not an unfortunate byproduct of inflation, intentionally ushered in now. This is on purpose, and the fractures and the byproduct of overheating the biggest economy and asset class in the world is now having a ripple effect through the entire economy. And I think one of the things that came to mind, what I wanted to discuss today, I'm going to reveal something too that's going to drive our point home that I believe you guys will find potentially very interesting. Laugh at myself as I unpackage these things to wrap my head around what we're navigating through. Serious stuff indeed. But if you halfway expect it, you won't be a deer in the headlights. We'll be able to operate within this more efficiently, buying outside the biggest bubble ever produced in history. That's our goal, my friends. And if we're buying right now, simply see if the property pencils out. That's the best safety measure we can take at the moment that I'm aware of. It's insanity. So one of the things we have to understand now, friends, we see about, the bailout programs are occurring, and we're going to be tackling more potential bailout programs that will be surfacing targeted at the U.S. housing market because it's always the last thing to go. We'll bail out everybody, and then eventually the housing market's going to receive its bailouts. It happened in the last financial crisis and housing crash. They tried bailouts for the housing market. It was called loan modification, but it didn't work. The market ended up crashing. Foreclosure waves came, and a lot of pain was ensued throughout the housing market. The realities of, I think, where this crash potentially looks different than the last crash, which for me also probably puts us more into the depressionary risk of a downturn rather than a recessionary level of a downturn. In the Great Recession of 2008, the housing market crashed pretty much first, if not for sure. And then everything, it was a vacuum that took the economy, jobs, everything along for the ride. But the housing market was the vortex that caused the vacuum to pull the economy into that severe recession, having global ripple effect into the global financial markets. This time it's a little different. And like I've always said since the beginning of the show, the only thing that's different in this housing bubble than the previous housing bubble, this time's worse. And so when cheerleaders continue to try to minimize the severity of this one, it makes me chuckle a little bit at times because of the self-defense mechanism that we operate within, because of our human nature to wrap our head around this. But it's really short-sighted. In the last bubble, we had the same short-sightedness where a few people ringing the bell, sounding the alarm, and raising awareness, and most people just, ignoring it, cheerleading, and then it came. And the poor people, those were the people that really suffered the most. And I was one of those to an extent in the last downturn. And I don't regret it anymore because what I've learned, but I'm certainly not going to go do the same thing over expecting a different result. That's the definition of insanity. That's why today we're taking a little different approach in this bubble. But this bubble is more significant. It's currently now attacking our economy. And then the economy itself we're losing right now with inflation and bank bailouts and bank failures and everything. I mean, like I've always said, this one's so much worse than 2008. It's throw the dart at the economic challenge map on this one. You're hitting something. Last one was loose lending, subprime mortgages. That's all we had. and it sucked us into a pretty severe recession. Well, now if we're paralleling this downturn with previous downturns, this one is paralleling the Great Depression, which none of us watching today have lived through. But that's in fact what happened. We lost the stock market, and then it was the vacuum taking everything. Well, this one is now the economy and inflation and the banking failures and the drinking of the stimulus Kool-Aid, getting over leveraged in an interest sensitive environment. We're just scratching the surface, because I know if we get it too far into the data and the tea leaves, I will lose you. So it's really important that we just have our heads wrapped around this in a way that's digestible and makes sense moving forward. But we've seen a lot of things get threatened, but I think the big one right now is the banks. And I know a lot of us are nervous about having our money in the banks and, trying to figure out what to do here to protect ourselves. But a lot of us know that we see the small banks are getting squashed. It's going to be the big ones. I don't know if they're ushering in this new monetary system. There's a lot of conspiracy. I don't even know if it's conspiracy theorists. There's a lot of theories that are backed up with some pretty decent theoretic data that would tell us that, in fact, this is a plausible scenario as our banking system continues to be attacked. And here's the challenging one for like Silicon Valley Bank. Even me, who operates my real estate business with a very multi-layered presence in real estate. And one of those bigger presence, and I've reported on this before, was my internet lead service. We get internet leads if you choose. If you're a high caliber agent, you're paying for leads to come to you anytime somebody's searching online for real estate. Well, I got an alarming warning sign from our internet lead service recently that really drives this point home on how the banking system is potentially leading the charge in what's going to happen potentially next moving forward in the economy and our real estate market. So let me go ahead and just share this alert I got from my internet lead service with you real quick. Then we're going to meet back here. Urgent, important update. Discontinue sending payments for your concierge. OpCity closes to Silicon Valley Bank. Click here for updated payment instructions. And there you go, friends. This thing is tying in to real estate as we speak. Let's get back to the studio so we can wrap this one up. All right, friends, welcome back. So there you go. That was a warning I got from our internet lead service saying, don't send any more payments to the Silicon Bank. Contact us. We are tied to the Silicon Valley. Well, I'm not, luckily, because I can accept my leads or refuse them. And during the height of the buying euphoria, that lead service that I just showed you was just bonkers. Like, I couldn't even keep up with the amount of it. Usually it's about 10% of an agent's business will be internet leads, depending on how aggressively they want to pursue internet leads, because they're usually not as, the conversion rate of an internet lead isn't as high as somebody in your immediate farm area, meaning your sphere of influence, your repeat business, people that know you, recommendations. An internet lead's very wobbly because it's usually somebody, it's clickbait. Oh, I'm going to request a tour, not knowing, hey, how's it going? Scott Walters here. I want to get you over to the house, show you. That's how it works. But this is another warning sign of, it's a big one for me. When your internet lead service, which is connected to one of the biggest websites in the world for internet searches, is telling you, hey man, Silicon Valley, don't send any more money, your internet lead fees to this bank. There's another warning sign that's now circulating out there for us today. And final thoughts. I come to you as a friend, as a content creator. Somebody wants to see not only win in real estate, win in life. Understanding the biggest artificially created housing bubble ever produced in world history has reversed course. It's take your pick now. Either the economy throws the real estate market into a tailspin, or the real estate market throws the economy into a tailspin. They're both capable of taking each other along for the ride. It will be a vacuum. This one is paralleling probably, if I had to guess, an educated guess. We've done a lot of studies together moving forward. It's been an adventure, to say the least. I had no idea what I was getting myself into when I turned on this camera and started running my mouth on YouTube during lockdowns. But it's certainly, on one hand, been nice to be awake with a lot of you. A lot of iron sharpens iron. If you're new, get into the comments. This is paralleling the Great Depression, because the Great Depression wasn't the real estate market that would cause the knockout blow for the economy. It wasn't. The Great Recession of 2008 was the real estate market, was the vacuum that pulled the economy along for the ride. This one's much different. Could be the banking system, could be the economy itself. It's take your pick. I believe this one will have a different leading charge, possibly more severe than just the housing market alone, that takes it along for the ride. The best thing we can do, of course, moving forward, is insulate ourselves to the best of our ability. Be awake, be sharp, be centered, be surrounded with like-minded people. Don't let our highs get too high, our lows get too low. Try to stay somewhere in the middle. Enjoy our life the best of our ability. We don't want to be paralyzed by fear. This is going to be a freight train for many people, blindsided, paralyzed by fear. The people that can operate more efficiently within this one, good to go. Even in the Great Depression, not every area of the country crashed, only select areas. Our job now is to target areas. If we're looking at real estate, do they pencil out? Today, tomorrow, next week, next year. If they pencil out, testing them with an offer. If we can make an offer stick on a property that's cheaper to own than it is to rent, then that's a good buy no matter what your intention is for the property. I'm going to be here to ring the bell, sound the alarm, raise awareness every step of the way, because it's not only what we need, it's in fact what we deserve. If you appreciate the content, I want to humbly ask you to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below. I would love to hear from you. Social media links in the description of this video. If you'd like to contact me there, along with the links to channels I've appeared on, I think you might enjoy. If you need help buying or selling real estate here in America, the biggest network of top-rated agents in the nation ready to assist you, would be our honor and our privilege to do so. Email in the description for you. Also, if you're watching from your television set today and you enjoyed this video, I know you're going to love the next video, and there's an easy subscribe icon for your convenience. As always, thank you for your time. Please go make it count today. I'll see you on the next video.